Good morrow, lovely little ghosts, and welcome to the Dark Orchard for Lara Watson's 13 Days of Vlogoween.
Thanks, Mr. Vampire. Let's get this started. Happy Halloween, everyone. Today, I'm going to be telling you more North Carolina ghost stories. So our first spooky little tale is the Devil's Trampling Ground in Chatham, North Carolina. This location is one of the spookiest locations in North Carolina. First time I ever heard about this was when I was in elementary school, and my teacher, Mr. Duncan, would tell spooky stories all the time, and was fascinated by the fact that I was fascinated with these stories, if that tells you anything about the kind of person that I've always been. So the story of the Devil's Trampling Ground is that there is a 40-foot circle in the middle of the woods. Nothing will grow in this circle, and legend has it if you put something in the circle, by morning it'll be tossed out. It's even rumored that some people have tried to sleep inside of the 40-foot circle, and by morning they end up outside of it too. One of my really good high school friends was trying to get a group together this year to go to the Devil's Trampling Grounds and explore it and stay the night. The next spooky story that I'm going to tell you is the legend of Lydia and Lydia's Bridge. Most of us know the story of the lady in white. A woman done wrong at the side of the road asks for a ride and disappears on the way home. Well, same story happens with Lydia. It's rumored that a girl named Lydia was in a car on her way home from prom, and the car crashed right at the edge of what is now Lydia Bridge. Rumor has it that Lydia haunts that road, and as you pass the bridge on a cold, rainy night, she's standing there in a beautiful white prom dress, and she asks you for a ride. Once you take her to her home, she disappears. This is our own Greensboro, North Carolina lady in white. The Great Dismal Swamp. Sounds like something out of a Harry Potter book, right? But it's actually on the northern North Carolina coast, and it's been known for its spiritual activity. People have witnessed everything from orbs to unusual noises and strange happenings throughout the entire 112,000 acres of swampland. The Biltmore Estate. It's the Gatsby House of North Carolina. But there's a spooky twist. It is a huge mansion that people tour every day. People say they can hear a woman laughing in the library, but there's no one there. There are people having fun at the pool, and yet it's deserted. They hear a cat meowing through the halls, but there's no animals there. And the old owner of the estate, George Vanderbilt, actually died on the premises in the early 1900s. Did you know North Carolina had our own little haunted Gatsby house? Since we were speaking about Gatsby before, let me tie that in a little bit more. North Carolina is also home to the Grove Park Inn. The Grove Park Inn is haunted by the Pink Lady. The Pink Lady was a 1920s socialite who tragically fell from her balcony during a party. To this day, she haunts the grounds, and it continues to be a booming resort, with rooms starting at $400 a night. The Thomas Wolfe Memorial is a tourable estate that you can explore and hear the sounds of the writer and his wife as if they never died. That's right. Story goes that you can still hear Thomas Wolfe's typewriter throughout the halls, and his wife laughing hysterically in the parlor. In 1718, the Royal Navy beheaded Edward Teach, also known as Blackbeard, on the shores of North Carolina, and when you visit, it's said you can hear his spirit groaning, searching the coast for his lost head. The USS North Carolina, docked on the Wilmington coast, is actually a battleship that I've visited, and it's said that the ship is haunted by different officers that have died, including one that died in the washroom during a torpedo strike. The Appalachian Trail is home to lots of scary things, but one thing in particular is in Hot Springs, North Carolina. There's a waterfall called the Painted Rock. Legend goes that men were camping near the waterfall, and they heard a beautiful singing. They followed the singing, and when they approached the water, they saw a gorgeous Cherokee woman wading through the water. Within moments, she seemed to be in distress, and as they rushed into the water, something unknown pulled her under. Now, campers and hikers are fearful of getting anywhere near the water, afraid they'll meet the same fate. Another spooky tale is from Asheville, North Carolina, and that is Helen's Bridge. Helen was a noble woman of a very high class. She lived in a castle-like plantation in Asheville, North Carolina, until it caught fire, killing her only child. So distraught by the loss of her child, Helen went to a bridge and hung herself from it. To this day, people that pass under the bridge have witnessed a chill, their cars stalling, and even freshly lit cigarettes being put out by the woman who despises the fire. Irwin High School in Asheville, North Carolina is our own little Sunnydale. It's like the Hellmouth of North Carolina. The school was actually built on top of a graveyard, but they didn't know it until after the school had already started being built. The bodies were relocated, however the spirits remained. To this day, students witness some of the most scariest occurrences throughout their halls, classrooms, bathrooms. It kind of reminds me of the last season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where we were introduced to all these new spirits that were victims that Buffy couldn't save. Thank you so much for joining me in the Dark Orchard. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come around again soon. Say bye. Bye.